Greetings and welcome to the family. Greetings and welcome to the family. This is Three Docs and a Mic, and I am Dr. Riaja, and I am here with my two lovely sisters. I will allow them to introduce themselves.
Greetings all, I'm Dr. Komoia.
Hi, I'm Dr. Saphronia.
And today's episode of Three Docs and a Mic is very, very special. People have been asking, what happened to Three Docs and a Mic? Well, the Three Docs have been on the move. We have had people literally moving, plus people traveling. So it's been an exciting 2023 for us. And in this episode, we are going to focus on Ghana. So Dr. Komoia and Dr. Saphronia, they went to Ghana, and we are going to find out together how that trip went for them. So we're going to start off talking about Accra.
Great. So we traveled into Accra. So we, I guess the plane trip into the main airport in Ghana is the capital city of Accra. The travel there was interesting. So I know we did two different paths. Dr. Komoia did a different path than I went. And I went through JFK was my point. So I was still on US soil, and then the next place we landed was in Accra. So that was interesting because it was overnight. So we really didn't feel that time difference when we landed in Accra. Dr. Komoia, you want to say how you traveled?
Sure. So I, when I first went to Ghana, so this is my second time going to Ghana. When I first went to Ghana, I actually transferred planes in Washington, D.C. And so like Dr. Saphronia, I transferred planes on U.S. soil. And so when I arrived in Accra, it was just, just like one long plane ride. This time, I got the opportunity to transfer planes in Istanbul, which was new for me. I've never been to Turkey. And so that was amazing. And I actually flew Turkish Airlines, and I had an amazing time. It was a smooth flight. The airline people, I don't know what they're called nowadays. Are they still stewardess? I'm not sure. But the people who are there to help you out, they were amazing folks too. And then the movie selection and sleeping, and the seats were comfortable. So I would do that route again, actually.
So definitely a different experience than flying Delta for 10 and a half hours from JFK.
So what was your first impression? I'm going to start with Dr. Saphronia, since it was her first time on the continent.
Wow. So when I first landed, I guess I was more fatigued. I had a great sleep on the plane, but then getting off the plane and just getting together and going through customs in Ghana was a little different than going through customs in any other country that I've been in. But it wasn't a very arduous time at all. It was just very quick. So I was shocked, actually, that it was that quick. And then getting to the bus to take us to the hotel, that was an interesting maneuvering through through the airport. And then my first impressions was, wow, this is a pretty cool city. You see movies and hear stories about cities and on the African continent, but until you go there, it's like it's no different than any city here in the US. And it could be because they were colonized by the British as well. So a lot of that, they didn't gain their independence until 1965. So a lot of that is probably lingering from the British away. But yeah, it was just a great city. Seeing all the liveliness and all the people that populated the city. It was a little strange seeing them sell beds by the side of the road, or anything else that you can think of, they sold by the side of the road. And I loved it that they were able to balance all of their products on their head, and they walk through the car selling you, so you can definitely not have to cook because you can get your whole meal on the street. So, and you can buy your paper towels, your toilet paper, whatever you thought you needed to go to Walmart for, they're selling it on the street.
That sounds very convenient.
Very convenient.
So, Komoia, what was your impression this second time around?
So I just want to tap into the first time when I
Okay.
went last year. My flight, I flew United, and like I said, I transferred on American soil, so going straight into Ghana. And during that time, COVID was high. I went fall of last year, and so going through customs was very different than this time. And this time, so the first time I got there, it was just this overwhelming feeling of I'm home. Just seeing the smiling faces and literally people saying Aquaba, which is welcome. And a lot of people saying welcome home, sister, and people calling me sister, auntie, you know, all of these things as soon as you not as soon as you get off the airplane, but as soon as you get through customs and you're on the other side, waiting for a baggage claim. And the airport is actually relatively small to be a major airport, and I think that has its own unique flavor because it is so small. And so going through baggage claim and having people call you sister, like welcome back, sister, was amazing. And so this time around, I actually, it was smooth sailing. I didn't have to go through a lot like I did before, and the COVID ban was lifted this time around. And so I think it made the airport less congested. And it could have been the time of the year that I flew in as well. And so coming back was just like I was coming back home. I knew how to navigate the airport. Like I said, it was a small airport anyways, but I knew how to navigate the airport a lot better. And everybody waits outside. No one waits inside of the airport. So you have this large crowd of people picking up their loved ones or picking up someone to take them to the hotel, waiting outside. And so once you exit the airport, it's like this wall of people. But all you see is like smiles, and no one's pushing each other. You don't see any type of conflict that's happening. It's like everybody's just waiting to just see their loved one. And that in itself was just an amazing feeling as well. And then of course finding, like Dr. Saphronia, finding the transport van to the hotel was relatively easy for me as well. I came in by myself. We went with a group of folks, but I flew in by myself this time around. And so the guy, had the little sign up for the hotel, and I found him and onto the hotel. And so I don't know if we're going to get into talking about the hotels, but we stayed at Oak Plaza in Accra, which I didn't stay in before, and I can't remember the name of the two hotels that I stayed in prior. But Oak Plaza was new, and there's a Jamaican food place that's attached to Oak Plaza, and it's called Jam Rock. And so Oak Plaza has its own restaurant also. And then you can also go to Jam Rock, which is right outside the door. You turn the corner and there's Jam Rock, and there's a pool, and it's like this Jamaican African fusion place. The vibe is, just all upbeat. Everybody's just chilling and, by the pool. They have these cabanas outside. You can eat outside. And of course, the weather, we went during rainy season, and the weather was just amazing also. My skin just felt, it was warm, but my skin felt like it was purging, if that makes any sense. So that was just an amazing feeling too.
Yeah, one thing I want to say, I think it was hotter here in the States than it was in Ghana. Everybody we talked to from home, oh my God, it's so hot here, it's so hot here. And I was like, it's warm, but it's not intolerable. Like you wanted to be outside in that sun, in that heat. So it was good. It was real good.
Yeah, I think it's also just a different kind of heat in Africa, or at least in Ghana, than it is in the US. Like I said, it was rainy season, so it was humid, but it was still even a different kind of humidity from like going to the South, where it's hot and it's humid. You definitely felt that layer, but it was was more comfortable, I guess. I don't think I can really describe it, but it was just more comfortable. Like, you were hot, but it wasn't like you were miserable in the heat. It was like a welcomed heat.
So the sun hits you differently.
The sun
Well,
and just being in the humidity, it just has a different vibe.
Dr. Komoia, you touched on the hotel. So Dr. Saphronia, what was your impression of the accommodations?
Oh, they were nice. They were really nice. They would be comparable to a 4 or 5 star here, I guess you can say that. Knowing that you're in a different country, I really didn't have high hopes. I'm not saying, we needed the food, bed turned down every night and all the rest of the stuff like that. But it was very nice. They were very just willing to help. I thought that was amazing that we didn't have to carry our bags to the room, that they were just like, no, we have it. So the hotel was very welcoming. On their glass door, it said Aquaba. And as soon as you walked in, everybody was Aquaba, so it was comfortable there. And then they had a elevator, but their elevator only fit 3 people.
Oh, wow.
So they're really not that packing in as we do in the US. It's a very small elevator. They did have the stairs, and the gentlemen that were taking the bags up the stairs, I mean, they were taking the bags up literally up the stairs. So they weren't waiting for the elevator. They were just running up and down the stairs. And I was just like, man, everybody's so physically fit here. And that was amazing too, just to see that and the level of fitness that they have there. There's no complaints. The young ladies were walking up and down the stairs and just doing everything. So I think it was good. The breakfast was amazing. The spread that they had for breakfast, the variety of foods that they had. It's interesting that, in the US, we think breakfast has to be the sugary sweets and the, eggs and bacon and everything, where theirs is more savory. And it's just a meal to start your day. So it was really good. So I enjoyed that. The beds were pretty keep laughing at the beds because it was a hit or miss with the beds, right? But it was interesting, the beds. I like a firm bed. Dr. Komoia has a different opinion. So go ahead, Dr. Komoia.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree regarding the food. Fresh fruit every morning, the freshly squeezed juice, watermelon juice, to start your day, the hot tea, just amazing. And of course, they did have their pastries and all of these other sugars and whatnot available as well. But the breakfast was definitely a highlight. The rooms I thought were okay. The showers are very small unless you have a suite. And so just to warn people around that piece. And if you're really going to Ghana, you're really not going to spend too much time in your room anyways. So you're going to be out and traveling and, seeing the sights. And so it was an okay place to go and back and lay your head. The beds for me were too hard. And it's interesting as we progress throughout our trip, it was like too hard, getting there and then finally arrived, and then ended my trip with something that was, I might as well slept on the floor. So it was just interesting how my body reacted to each bed, as well as when I got home in my bed at home. I'm still trying to figure that one out. How, I was just gone for such a short time, and now my body is telling me that it needs something different. But other than that, I think that the establishment itself, like Saphronia said, definitely wonderful people willing to help, truly listening to you and not just serving you because that's their job. They're serving you because they want to. They want to assist you. And the location was phenomenal as well. There was a market next door, or a mall, I guess, next door. ATM was literally next door. So it was just a great location.
Okay. Well, Tell us about Macola Market.
Wow. So Macola Market is the largest open market that was in Accra. And it was 5 or 6 levels. I can't remember how many levels up this market was. Um, but every level was a different vendor, and they were selling just different things and all this. So we parked on the 5th floor, I believe. And we walked all the way down because we were in search of shea butter and black soap. So had an amazing driver. Patrick was the best person. Shout out to Patrick and Dr. Darko, who put us in contact with Patrick over in Ghana. But he made sure that we bargained and we got the price that was fair to us and to the provider, the supplier as well. And then also just navigating and negotiating which way to go and who sells which goods at the best price for that. So yeah, we walked all the way down the stairs. And then we had to walk back up the stairs. So that was the struggle going back up, right? But it was fun because we got to see the openness of everything at the market and how direct everyone spoke to each other. It wasn't in confrontation. It was just very direct. And you would, if you just looked at them, you'd be like, man, they arguing. They're not arguing, they just talking. And they go back and they laugh and they keep going on and they're just doing business, right? They're just doing business. So that was fun. And then to see how much, how much of a consumer we are. Because it's amazing because they start their business and it's just like, no, the people need this. So they start selling that, and we're just the consumer because we were like, we could make it. Might as well buy it from them, So, so that was pretty cool too. And then just to see how many natural products they actually use. And we are so used to going to Walmart or going to Kroger or whatever to pick up something, and we read the back of it and they got all this stuff in there, right? And then we go there and we're just like, no, this is just shea butter, or this is just black soap, or this is just charcoal, so yeah, that was pretty interesting to me. But it was a great market. You bargain, you haggle the prices, and that's the game there. You haggle the prices down to what's agreeable to each one of them.
So it's an expectation.
Yes.
Did you want to share your thoughts on Macola Market?
I'm just trying to think if I have anything else to add. Maybe just around the various items that you can get from there. So you can get things from household, whatever, to clothes for every age, jewelry, cosmetics, waist beads, all of these things that people are looking, baskets, body scrubbers that are just like this nylon sheet that they use to just scrub their body. And so just being in, it's like a one-stop shop. And then when you're walking actually through the parking complex, you see the stores. So it's almost like an indoor outdoor mall, or an indoor outdoor swap meet vibe. That's what it's like. Yeah.
I would definitely say it's more like a swap meet type, where you can find anything and everything, from wigs to hair color to children's clothes to whatever, fans, jewelry, beads. I mean, it really spanned the market, spanned the gamut of everything that you can purchase there. And this was one of the largest ones. So that was pretty cool, just to be in that environment and to see that type of commerce happening there. And then after that, we went to the art gallery as well. And that was similar to that type of thing, but it was raining at the time. So I didn't really get a chance to go and experience all of the art gallery because of the rain. But it was nice because you still have that same open market feel where you can go in and see their products. You haggle the price a little bit. If you want to pay it, you pay it. If you don't, you walk away. or they negotiate down to another price.
So it was an outdoor gallery?
It's the art center.
Oh, okay.
It's an art center, and it is outdoors. So it's I'm trying to, what would be the equivalent? It is outdoors, but every space has like their own section, like cubicle almost, but it can be closed. And this time we only got the chance to experience just a few because it was raining very heavily. I did go to that space last time, and basically there's like halls that are outdoors, but again, every section has their own space. So it's less like a swap meet feel, more like a imagine going through an office building where every office is a storefront. So there's like this hall. Yeah, but every office is like a storefront, and the hall is covered, but there's no doors to the hallway. So you're not outside, but you're not inside either. You're not fully outside, you're not fully inside.
What comes to mind is like Durant Square but I mean, I know Durant Square is like covered, but
no, Durant Square is like it's a building that has all these different spaces. This is more like I mean, I don't know how to imagine like I don't know what the equivalent would be, actually.
Okay.
It's like an outside, not inside office space that you just walk through. I don't know.
Well, we can all use our imagination, I suppose.
Yeah. I'm sure there's some space like that in the US. I've just never experienced it, or it's not coming to my mind.
Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to the next episode as we continue our conversation on our reflections of our trip to Ghana.
Thank you for being with us. We're sending you love, light, and positive energy. And remember to proceed